Hello, 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 Transurfer and the Transurfing Curious. My name is Renee Garcia, guys, and this is TransurfingTV. And today, it's so funny how my mind works. I want to tell you guys, it's really fascinating to me that oftentimes I feel as though the ideas for the videos that I want to make, the videos that I feel are going to be really, really helpful in getting what it is that you want in life, relaying to others, exactly what needs to be done to manifest or materialize or to have the thing, be the thing, do the thing. The videos that I'm like, oh man, this is solid gold. This is solid gold. They're gonna benefit so much from this. It's the stuff nobody wants to hear. It's amazing. And action, the topic of my video today, is exactly one of those things. I know I've been talking a lot about action lately. We're in the middle of a 30 Anomalous Action Challenge within the Facebook group and in the community. And this challenge is, there are some people who complete it, but this challenge is one of those challenges where hundreds of people will join and they'll all be super enthusiastic and posting all their anomalous action that they're taking, and then they just stop. They just stop and it dies down, and at the end of the 30 days, there's like me and two other bad bitches who are able to to hang for the 30 days. So the reason for this, and this is the fascinating part about reality creation, action is the thing that is going to get you there. Do not ever, ever, ever let some other teacher or modality, especially some of these things floating around this space of law of attraction and these powerful reality creation modalities that will try to get you to believe that you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. This is complete and utter bullshit. Action is the way that you get from point A to point B. The vector of the flow is set by your intention, your ability to visualize what it is that you want, and live it, be it, do it, feel it, all that stuff. But the action is the jet fuel that gets you there. So action is the most valuable part of creating your own reality. Action is the most challenging thing for most people to do. We have these little comfortable cocoons that we've created where we're safe and we're not putting ourselves in the line of fire, opening ourselves up to ridicule. We're not venturing outside of this little box of comfort. So, nothing bad can ever happen, but also little good can happen as well, right? I mean, I know that sounds a little bit dire. Good can happen, but even more can happen when you are able to venture outside. And venturing outside is done via action. So today I'm going to read a little part from the book. It's a section called Release, page 468. And yeah, before I get started on that, remember to like this video, comment, question, all that stuff. Subscribe to this channel. All the courses down below, links below. Join us on the Facebook group, the International Transurfing Institute Facebook group, and follow me on Instagram, guys. All right, so let's get right into it. Okay, let me state first, before I start reading this, that action is the antidote to anything. I am Mrs. Action. I can spring into action. I can spin on a dime. I can move in a direction that is highly, I don't want to say highly uncomfortable for me, because I've actually stopped viewing things as comfortable or uncomfortable. Now, if there's something that I once would have deemed uncomfortable, it's now simply a challenge. And I know that the more challenging the thing is, the more out of the ordinary it is for me to act in that direction, the more unknown that sector of reality is, the more there is for me to harvest and benefit from. Also, action is a huge release from importance, massive. From my layer of reality, when I have importance on anything, an emotional state, something that I want, something that I feel is not exactly right with my reality, action is the way in which I remedy whatever is going on in my life. Literally, whatever. It is my top tip or trick, if you will, to resolving anything. So I'm going to start, this is actually page 469. I'm going to start at the bottom, and I'll just read until it feels natural to stop. In order to drop importance, you need to take action consciously. You need to be aware of what you are attributing excess meaning to and the consequences of doing so. Unfortunately, our attempts to consciously abandon importance on an intellectual level are not always successful. The answer is to then take action, because the power behind excess potential dissipates in the process of doing. Okay, so let me just stop right there. I want to just make a quick comment. Lots of people have said in the group, in the comments here on YouTube, all over the social media, how do you drop importance? That sounds so far-fetched. I don't understand. I just drop importance, and just as Vadim Zeland is saying here, that dropping or abandoning importance on an intellectual level sometimes is not possible. Sometimes we simply must act. So the answer then is to take action, because the power behind excess potential dissipates in the process of doing. The action you take can be turning the target slide round in your mind, visualizing the process, and calmly placing one foot in front of the other in the direction of the goal. Okay, so then he goes into a number of ways in which action will benefit you. How to not be afraid. Get a safety net. The hardest excess potential to overcome is fear. You cannot force yourself to be unafraid. If something that has excessively important meaning in your life is threatened, something that you cannot let go of, such as your life, career, or home, the only way to stop fueling the potential is to find cover, a plan B, or an alternative route. Action, right? How not to worry or get anxious. Act. The potential of anxiety and panic is dispersed through action. Idle worrying will continue to plague you until you take proactive action. The type of activity you turn to does not necessarily have to be related to the cause of your stress. As long as you do something, your anxiety will be reduced. Isn't this amazing? How not to desire. Accept the possibility of defeat and then act. It is just as difficult to eradicate the potential of desire as the potential of fear, because letting go totally of your desire to reach your goal is almost impossible. However, if you accept the possibility of defeat beforehand and find alternative routes, the potential of desire will at least become more balanced. Desire can always be transformed into action. Desire is what comes from intention. When desire is translated into the determination to act, the energy channeled into the potential dissipates. disperses, sorry. The energy of desire then goes towards shaping your intention. So you see the difference here? This is the difference between someone sitting on their couch and having excess potential about why they don't have what it is that they want, taking it, transmuting that energy, that thought energy, fusing it with action, and then actually using that to shape the intention. How not to wait. Act. The potential of waiting is dispersed through action by definition. Dissolve desire and expectation in action. How to let go of self-worth. If you have understood this book thus far, this question ought to sound a little out of keeping with what has been said before. Of course, transurfing encourages you to stand up and accept your worth as an axiom rather than resigning yourself to feelings of personal worthlessness. The difficulty with this is that the mind only senses its worth when other people treat you accordingly. Taking this into consideration, the secret to increasing your standing is as simple as it is effectual. All it really requires is for you to abandon the tendency to take action aimed at increasing your self-worth. Examining your behavior. How do you respond when you feel the need to protect your sense of self-worth? Whatever your knee-jerk reaction is, be it demanding attention and respect, feeling you have to prove that you are right, taking offense, being defensive and justifying your actions, getting drawn into conflict, acting superior and arrogant, insisting on being the leader, belittling someone else and pointing out their shortcomings or showing off your strengths. Whatever it is, other people will subconsciously pick up on it. If you do not automatically rush to protect your sense of self-esteem, it suggests that you have a healthy sense of your self-worth. People will start to treat you differently. When the mind sees that it is being treated with more respect, it starts to acknowledge its own worth. When you start to realize your own value, other people around you will see it too, without exception. By letting go, you receive the very thing you gave up. So, I know this sounds a little bit like, well, what does that have to do with taking action? So what that has to do with is instead of you, let me try to break this down as simply as possible. Instead of you feeling as though you are owed something in your life and you are in a position where you believe yourself to be worthy and you're placing your self-worth in direct correlation to what it is that you don't have. This is excess potential city, and you will ultimately create challenges for yourself in your external environment rather than dropping all that other stuff and simply turning that excess potential into intent and actually going in that direction with that energy and that intention. So this is why a lot of people don't have what it is that they want. They either feel they're deserving of it, or they feel that it's going to come to them on a silver platter, or that the world is going to produce it. Now let's not get outer intention and depending on your world to produce something because you feel you are indeed deserving of it without having to take the action. That's not how it works. How it works is exactly what Vadim is presenting to us here. Don't wait. Don't hope. Don't say my world's going to bring it to me because I'm special or I deserve it. All of these different things, have anxiety that it's going to come, all the different ways in which we absolutely do not take accountability for us not having the thing that we intend to have and turning it all off and just taking action. So action for me is a big telltale sign of somebody that is going to create the reality that they intend or not. If I recognize someone as talking and not producing. Now, when I used to do one-on-one training, I would see this frequently. People would come to me and be like, hey, I found Transurfing, yeah, I want one-on-one coaching. And then we would start on the one-on-one calls, and I would tell or express the value in taking action. Okay, what do you want? Why do you want it? What do you feel is holding you back? And as soon as I started to present the idea of taking action, the person would become disenchanted with transurfing, disenchanted with me as an instructor, and really just sort of turn off, because people want their realities to be created for them. They don't want to have to get in there and actually do the work. Now, here's the cool thing. Once you have shown up for the action, once you have stopped with all the stuff that we just went over, having anxiety, questioning, waiting, hoping, feeling as though you're superior and your world's just going to deliver it to you sometime in some way, and you won't have to do anything. As soon as you can get over all of that stuff, set your intention, start down the path of acting in the direction of that goal, then you actually don't have to do that much. Outer intention kicks in and starts to deliver to you exactly what you need in order for you to fulfill that goal efficiently and effectively with a lot less heavy lifting. This is exactly what's happening for me right now. I don't do anything. I don't seek anything out. I don't try to make anything happen. I just wait until my world shows me something. Hey, Renee, you're needed over here. Then I bring my action to that call. I'm just answering the call, right? So I know that this lesson is, first of all, there's probably not many people that have made it this far, because again, people just don't want to hear this. People don't want to hear this. Like I said in one of my previous videos, that I've had a few requests for refunds on my Mo Money course, and in questioning what, could you give me some constructive feedback on how I could improve? Well, I just thought that more money would come to me and I wouldn't have to do anything. So people don't typically want to take action. Again, jump into the 30 Anomalous Action Challenge. Get your action muscle trained. Get used to taking action. And anytime anything in your reality ever starts to, give you any sort of a sense that you're not getting what it is that you want, or you're having anxiety about something, or depression, or when's my world going to respond, as the last bit that I read suggests, a person waiting for reality to hand it to them. Whenever you go into this mode, take action. Before you know it, if you can learn how to do this, this is the key to creating your own reality. And this is the exact thing that definitely hinders the majority of the people coming to this modality from having, this is exactly why most don't actually achieve results with transurfing. So I hope you found this video valuable. If you made it this far, is your action muscle trained? Are you fearful of taking action today? Do you know how to take action? How has action helped you? I know for me, my God, action has given me everything. It is the golden key to the kingdom. So with that, I will bid you adieu, and thank you so much for watching my video. Bye, guys.